Written by Guy Adams and released in December 2018, Sins of the Father is the fourth audio story in The War Master, the Master of Callus box set. Terramon continues to torture the Master and threaten Cassandra with complete extermination if she doesn't hand over the sueño. But Terramon is in for one hell of a surprise. One doesn't just torture the Master and expect things to go your way. I know I've said this in other reviews before, but Jacoby's Master is really unsettling. I mean, what's worse than listening to the Master being tortured? Listening to the Master laughing as he is being tortured. This is one twisted son of a bitch, people. It's also a point of humor for listeners given how proud and powerful Terramon is with her wealth. No matter what she does, she can't break this guy. There are several powerful scenes where the Master gives her the reason she sucks speech, and every time it's glorious to listen to. It almost feels like BDSM given how the Master is the one bound and tortured, yet Terramon is one being subjugated and broken. I believe Guy Adams might have some male-breaking powerful female fetishes, given how many times these scenes occurred. Not that this is a bad thing. I love Terramon receiving her comeuppance. It shouldn't come as much of a spoiler that the Master eventually kills her. Again, she's the antagonist and he's the Master, but I praise the scene in which it happens. It is chilling how quickly Jacoby can switch from pleasant and teddy bear-like to ruthless and murderous. Cassandra's plot concerning gathering up the colony workers and fighting back against Terramon's soldiers feels subpar. By this point, all of these characters are so unlikable that you kinda root for the soldiers to wipe them out. The series has done a spectacular job showing what an ugly, dislikable person greed and obsession can turn you into if you go too far. Cassandra's arc mirrors Cole's from last year in some respects. Both are characters that start out as genuinely wanting to improve the lives of others. Both succumb to obsession, which leads them down a dark path. Cassandra has been transformed into a disgusting human being that I wish would die. And by the time she realizes this and tries to make amends, the fat lady is already singing. We also learn what the Master's endgame has been across these four stories. Granted, it's not as powerful as his motivations last year, and part of it feels tacked on. It's time war, related of course. But given how the war hasn't even been mentioned this series, this declaration feels more like the writers frantically trying to tie the box set to the Time War just to justify the war part in War Master. What I really loved about this box set was how the stories show you how bad being greedy can be. Sure, it's a lesson, and Doctor Who has recently been beating us over the head with political correctness in NPC, but it doesn't feel like one long preach here. Listening to Elliot, Sandra, and Martine, I actually feel the lesson the writers are trying to teach me. There were several instances where I said to myself, I hope I never turn out like this, or please don't let this happen to me. As much as I harped on about Cassandra, she started off a genuinely nice and pure character. A simple thing like wanting to make life easier for those around her horribly corrupted her noble ambitions. And that is something that can happen to anyone. That's a wrap on The War Master. If you liked this video, please smash that like button. And if you want to hear more Big Finish reviews, as spoiler-free as I can naturally, subscribe to the channel. We do short, informed reviews, so you know where to dig for the Doctor Who gold. Support me on Patreon and receive a bunch of cool rewards, or drop me a comment and tell me what you thought of the box set, or tweet at me. I've also set up a donation page for those of you who do not or cannot afford to pledge to me on a month-to-month basis. Not that I blame you, this is Big Finish after all, but any small change is welcomed. I genuinely appreciate all the support from you guys. I hope to come making reviews for a long time to come. Until next time.